Hello friends, welcome. Today we are doing another Inkscape tutorial and this one is going to be a little bit more on the difficult side, but once you're done doing it once, you'll remember it forever. This one in particular that we're doing is we're taking a clip art that has a whole bunch of colors onto it and we're going to make our own SVG file. The one I have done previously was just a basic black and white one and it was a gnome. I'll link that here in the descriptions, but this one's going to be a little bit more of an expert file. However, once you're done, I promise you will know how to do it. Okay, so all I did was I just went into my internet browser and I picked SpongeBob because he is actually my favorite cartoon character. So I chose SpongeBob. I saved him to my downloads folder, and then I just brought him in to Inkscape. This is Inkscape. It's a free program. If you haven't downloaded it, I absolutely love this program. Outside of Design Space, Inkscape is the only other one that I use. So now that we have him in here, all you're going to do is right click on him and press place bitmap. Holy cow. Go over here. If it's not already highlighted for you, click on single scan. And then for this particular one, you're going to want to bump up the brightness threshold. It can't be 1.0 because then it will be completely black, but we want to go pretty close to the top, like pretty close to 1. If you do start going up here, like we can do 9.9 and do update, and you can see that there's a lot of speckling on the inside of it and it's not like a very good trace. So you just want to back down a little bit until you kind of get like some clean lines on there. And then the other thing that you can do as well is when you're optimize, if you go up, it will start to make all the lines pretty even and look nice. So you want to bring that up as well. There's not like any number or anything else like that. Just play around with it and always press update so you get an updated version. When you're done and you get what you like, you can press OK and then close out of this box for a second. We're going to drag this over and we're going to keep this just the way it sits. Just like this, just for a second. Okay, and now, because right now all you have is a black and white, and we need all the colors, right? We have a lot of colors in SpongeBob. So click back on the original clip art that you did, right click again and press Trace Bitmap. Then go over into multiple scans. And this is where it's going to start getting a little bit more complicated, but essentially what you're going to do is right here in this box, most of the time it starts on brightness steps, but you want to choose colors. And then on the scans, now what the scans mean is like how many times the program is going to scan for the colors. So if your clip art, your original clip art only has 3 colors, you're going to want to put 3 and then press update. And that's going to only scan for 3 colors. SpongeBob, I've already done it. SpongeBob is 12 colors on this one. But if you go down, let's go down to 3 and we'll update. Do you see how there's only black, white, and yellow? There's not that many colors, right? We need more colors. So then you just keep going up until you get what you're looking for. This one looks really good, but you're still missing like the pink right here. We'll go back again and do 8. Keep going. 9. Oh, and we were missing the tie, the red tie. 10. Did we got 10? Why did I have 11 on there? Okay, let's go back to 10. Guess it was 10, not 12. Okay, and then the same thing is you want to optimize it. So then just make sure that if you're reducing the nodes and like the random lines that it creates, that's essentially what you're doing. So you do want that to be bumped up. We do want to remove the background, and we do if you don't smooth it, some of the lines, sometimes it depends on how big your file is and how, if you chose a high res file, sometimes the lines are very jagged. I always just do smooth so I can smooth it out to make sure there's not like any random nodes anywhere. Once you're done and this picture that you have to the right looks like the picture that you have to the left, press OK. It will look like it's doing nothing, but then down here it was doing something. Once it's done, exit back out of that box and drag this over. Okay, so now you're left with the left one is the original, then you have your colors trace, and then you have the black and white. This one, we are just going to drag this up to the very, we'll just drag it over to the left so we can reference back to it in a minute. Okay, there are going to be the same keystrokes over and over and over again. It'll start to get boring after a while, but once you do it a couple times again, you'll know what you're doing. First, we'll start with the very back black. I'm here for all of the tongue twisters. The very back black section, we're going to make sure that we're going to send this to the very back, and this top version with all the colors, we're going to click that and we're going to bring everything to the very front. It'll make things a lot easier. Um, Going back to the black, you could do two ways of doing this is you can go over here to the node selection tool and start deleting things, copy and pasting and deleting, and it is really time consuming. The easier part to do that is if you go up into path and break apart, watch what happens. See how there's now it's just completely black and you have all these random boxes and things like that in there. That's exactly what you want for this one. So we're going to take this black back SpongeBob. We're going to drag it over to the left because we're going to need him for the very back. Do you see how there's like black on the very shadows of this thing? So we're going to need him. So don't throw him away or don't erase him. So we're going to need him and we're going to keep him black. Now we do have like the whites of the eyeballs and then the whites of the teeth. So we'll select the teeth. We'll go down here to the color selection tool, make it white, right click and group. And we're going to drag that back over onto our SpongeBob. Oop, and do you see how it's behind the black? So what you want to do now is just to make sure you got it correctly is select the main black SpongeBob and send that to the back. And now your teeth are up front. With the SpongeBob eyes, if you send these big portions back, I don't know why Inkscape does it, but generally the main bigger portions always get sent to the front and the smaller things get sent to the back. It's quite obnoxious, but you just have to keep sending things to the back. So if you can't click on the small little holes that were there, if you do this and you kind of highlight it all, you can see that there's two extra ones in there somewhere, but you can't click on it. It's because the big black pieces are ahead of it. So just send those to the back. It looks like nothing happened, but now you can go back in and select the smaller little things in there. What you want to do is you want to union those. Union is weld in Design Space. And then you want to take your two big black circles and union those as well. And then you want to highlight both the smaller and the little one, go back up to path and then press difference. Difference is slicing in Design Space. So now you have the two eyeballs, these two whites of the eyeballs. We're going to change him white and we're going to drag that over. See how it's behind it again? Just drag that up to the front. We'll push him back again. And then there we go. We'll just place him anywhere right now because it really isn't that big of a deal to keep him currently the way it sits. Okay, so all of the rest of this stuff that are black is going to be like the white everything that's black right here is going to be the whites of everything like the shirt and stuff like that. So you're just going to want to highlight all of those, group them, change it to white, bring it forward, and where are we going? There it goes. And then drag it over. And again, you want to just kind of line it up a little bit, but it'll get better as we go. We can start moving it around and placing it where it needs to be as it goes. Okay, so now we have the white and the blacks of what you need for SpongeBob. If you go over here onto the traced one that we did, what you're going to want to do is right click and ungroup it. And now all these like random boxes came in. So just click anywhere else. And then you just want to take the top and drag it over. We're going to keep this guy just in case we need him. I don't think that we will, but we'll just keep him just in case. And we'll drag him up to the front or up top. Same thing, just click another thing Okay, this right here looks like it is the maroonish color to his mouth. And do you see how there's like all these little lines and stuff like that? You don't want those. So a same thing that we did with the break apart for here, you want to go on path and break apart. And that's just releasing all the nodes. See how it's like a whole bunch everywhere? Okay, we'll just start selecting things we don't need and deleting. We'll select what we do need. Make sure you bring it up to the front just in case it got messed up. We'll kind of line them up with the whites of the teeth. Okay, and then everything else that is right here we don't need, so we'll just go ahead and delete that. Select and delete. And then pretty much it's the same thing as you keep going on. So this is yellow, which actually we don't have to do anything with because everything here we're going to keep. So we'll drag this one over and line that up. Oh, and you see how like the eyes didn't move over correctly? That's fine. We'll just scooch them down just a little bit. Same with the mouth. And you don't have to do this portion of it if you don't want to. This is just for me. It helps making sure that I get every color that you need for this SVG in there. And I'm just zooming in. Okay, there we go. He's looking cute, looking like SpongeBob. Okie dokie. So then just keep on going until you run out of things. Oh, see how we have like, this is the outside of his green, but we have all these little pieces. Again, we're going to just go to path and break apart. Okay, so what this is saying is that there is going to be an outside and an inside piece. You could slice them and make it like a really thin border, but that would be a pain in the butt to try and layer or cut out or anything else of that sort. So I'm just going to take the one outside piece away and I am going to just delete all the rest of this stuff because we don't need this. Then I am going to make sure and I'm going to bring my yellow to the top and I'm just going to take this and drag it over and place it where it needs to go. But now it made like that small little area um, that what was going to be a small little cut is now actually going to be a bigger cut. And it's covering up like the mouth and teeth. So then up at the very top, you can just adjust the way. There, see it? This right here is like throwing it back one section at a time. If you were to do this one, it throws it all the way back of all the layers. And we didn't want to do that because then it would be behind the black and we don't want that. Okay, moving on. Let's see here. We got, oh, this is red, so we're going to keep that. Make sure and bring it to the top just in case. And drag it over. Okay, same deal with this. There's like a whole lot of little lines, so just breaking it apart. Deleting what you don't need, but keeping what you do. So these little dots we want to keep. So I'm going to select those, right click and group. That's what you want. So we're going to drag that back over to our SpongeBob. My cursor is going a little haywire. Drag it over until it meets up with wherever it needs to go. Okay, and then make sure you go back when you do that. Go back and now there's like all these like almost invisible lines. Just delete those. We don't need them. All right, we're almost done. This is the light blue. My son knows how to pronounce this. Cyan? Cyan? He knows. He knows. He knows the word for this. Okay, dragging him in place. Just drop them. Okie dokie. And then we're almost done. All right. So then for this one, I don't want to release the nodes here because if I do that, which I'll show you, if I do that, then you're going to have to like start slicing and things like you don't want to do that. So we're just going to reverse that. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to click this and I'm going to take that node selection tool and I'm just going to highlight what I don't need and just press delete. Okay. And then that's all I needed to do there. So now I'm just going to drag this over and place them there. And looks like we only have one more. So we'll break it apart, keeping what we need, grouping it, and placing it there. Okay, and then deleting what we don't need. All right, so it looks like he is done outside of SpongeBob's eyes, like the inside green part. It's supposed to be black, and it's not. If we put this to the very back, then you see how like the green on the outside is supposed to be there? So we need to fix that. So let's go back. Ooh, this way, this way. Okay, bringing that forward. Oh, and his mouth is like that too. Oh, excuse me. Okay, we're going to delete this one. We're going to go back over onto this and just trace them. Trace them again. We'll go back to the black. Maybe we'll go down because really all we want, yeah, this is going to be good because we're going to want to slice this portion and this portion. So let's update that, press OK, exit out, and then we'll just drag this over. Okie dokie. Zooming in, we're going to break that apart. We're going to delete what we don't need. Okay, so we want this black part and this smile part. This is both what we need. We're going to drag it over. Oh, bring him to the top first. Drag it over, and we're going to line up the lines. Zooming in would probably help too. Okay, there is that. We have it pretty much lined up good. Okay, you want to union these two. So go to Path and Union. Oops, not Difference. Yikes. Path, select both, Path, and then Union. And then you want to take the black part that's already selected. You want to highlight the green, which it looks like, nope, I got yellow. So unclick and make sure you get that green. I got yellow again. My word. Okay, we'll send yellow back to the black and we'll go here and that one. And then we are going to go Path and then Difference again. Okay, now that we just did all that, we're going to send back to the very black and we're going to start moving this yellow up to where he's like in between. There we go. And that's it. So now when we zoom out, let me see if I can bring this pink up and make sure that he is completely lined up for you so you get the full view of what it looks like. There it goes. Okay. Now that you've done that, you can go ahead and delete all of this right here because you don't need it, because now what you have to the left and what you have on the right is the very same replica of what it is that you're looking for. You can go ahead and save this. We can go to File and Save As. Go in, make sure that it's saved as an SVG and press Save. You want to, I missed a completely very big step. You want to delete the original clip art that you had and then resave it. When you go into Design Space, I should have loaded it up, but I didn't. When you go into Design Space, we'll make a new project and we'll upload it, choose an image, and we'll just find I saved it to my desktop right here. Okay, there is my SpongeBob SVG. We'll bring it over there and he's right there. Look how stinking cute he is. And he's a cut file. So we can upload him and we'll add him to Canvas. And look at all of SpongeBob and all his little pieces. Yep, there you go. That's it. You created a layered clip art in, I think this is going to be like 20 minutes. So that is it. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments, but hopefully this helped you out tremendously. All right, I'll see you later.